Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Just
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
just wait a bit. There is echo. So last time we have studied about the expectation. In that we have seen whatever the properties we have studied for the expectation for discrete random variable. The same we have repeated for the continuous random variable. Then what is the mean, variance, all those things we have covered. Thereafter, we have started the standard continuous distribution. In that very first, we have covered continuous uniform distribution. So, in the continuous uniform distribution, I was driving the mean variance. So, there you have seen we have little typical integration. So, you can solve that. So let us have, this is the MXT for the uniform distribution. MXT is e to power bt minus e to power at upon t into b minus a. So numerator, in the numerator, we can expand exponential, right? So e to power bt can be written 1 plus bt square upon factorial 2 plus bt whole cube upon factorial 3 and so on, minus 1 plus 80 plus 80 square upon factorial 2 plus 80 cube upon factorial 3 and so on. So 1 and 1 cancel out in the numerator, 1 and 1 cancel out. Bt minus 80 will can be written as b minus a into t, b square t square minus a square t square upon factorial 2 can be written as b square minus a square into t square upon factorial 2 or 2. Then after b cube t cube upon factorial 3 minus a cube t cube upon factorial 3 can be written as b cube minus a cube upon b cube minus a cube into t cube upon factorial 3 and so on, upon and whole upon t upon b minus a. So when we divide by the this, so here we have b minus a, b minus a t, right?
No, sir, T will be cancelled.
The one
Acha,
will be
t
left.
is, yeah, t is cancelled out. So we have cancelled the t, and it is actually here b upon b minus a. I have not written somewhere.
Yes, sir. First two terms
One up,
में बाकी बाकी सब में है.
yeah, 1 upon. अच्छा नहीं, फर्स्ट और
अब
सेकंड में भी
पहले
नहीं
दो
है.
में ही है. फर्स्ट दो में नहीं है, बाकी में है. थर्ड टर्म आपने लिखा हुआ है.
That is the. So b minus a upon b minus a plus b square minus a square upon 2 into b minus a into t and so on. So now from here, if you compute the d by dt of the mxt, so because in the first term there is no t, so that will become the 0. From the second term you will get b square minus a square upon 2 into b minus a, plus from the third term you will get b cube minus a cube upon factorial 3 means 6 into b minus a, and differentiation of the t square, differentiation of t square will be the 2t and so on. Means here we have the terms of t. In this case, here we have the terms of t. Now when we compute the second derivative, so d2 of mxt upon dt2 will be the b cube minus a cube upon 3 into b minus a, because this 2 and 6 will cancel out, it will give you the 3, and plus terms containing terms containing t. So when we put what is the ex? Ex is the d by dt of mxt when t is equal to 0. So only this term is independent of the independent of t, and rest are the term of the t. So when we put the 0, it will give the 0. So only we have the b square minus a square upon 2 into b minus a, and similarly ex square. So d2 upon dt2 of mxt when t is equal to 0. So it will give you b cube minus a cube upon 3 into b minus a. So when we cancel the b minus a from the numerator and denominator, so you will get the a plus b by 2 and a square plus b square plus ab upon 3. So you know the computational formula for the variance. So variance of x is equal to e of x square minus e of square of the ex. So just you put the value a square plus b square plus ab upon 3 minus a plus b by 2 whole square. So it will become a square plus b square plus ab upon 3 minus a square plus b square plus 2ab upon 4. So when we take the LCM, so LCM is 12. In numerator, it will be the 4a square plus 4b square plus 4ab minus 3a square minus 3b square and minus 6ab. So on cancelling, it will give you a square plus b square minus 2ab in numerator, and denominator will be the 12. That can be written as b minus a whole square by 12. So in this, you can easily determine the derivative. Right. So whatever the previous step I have done, that is also correct. But here we have the easy derivative. So you can follow this also. So let us have this question from your book. Consider the PDF of total waiting time y for the 2 buses. This example already we have done. Introduced in exercise 8. So PDF is given to you. Compute and sketch the CDF of the y. So what is the CDF? CDF we denote by the capital F of the y, and it is what? Integration over up to the that point, means up to the y from the initial. From initial, here initial is the 0 of the fy dy. So compute and sketch the CDF of the y. So in this case, because the function PDF function is given to you in the interval, so you have to take care about the interval also. So when y is between 0 to 5, fy will become, right, fy will become 1 upon 25 u, right, 1 upon 25 u y dy, or u du, you can say u du. So on integration, it will be the u square by 2. So when we put the limit, it will become the y square upon 50. So when we have this, so always you put y is equal to 5. So when the y is equal to 5 means f of 5. So it will give you 1 by 2. So when we have the 1 by 2, so it means this in the here when y is between the 5 to 10. So you have to integrate from 0 to y fu du. So 0 to 5, 5 to y, right? 0 to 5, 5 to y. So in this case, you have not to check. You have not to check the integration. Directly you can write it as a 1 by 2. So here we have the 1 by 2 plus 5 to y plus 5 to y of the second integrand. Second integrand is what? 2 upon 5 minus 1 upon 25 u. So here 2 upon 5 minus u upon 25, right, into du. So on integration, you will get this as a CDF. So CDF will be, always you have to write the 0, 1. It is the correct way to write, right? So u, when the y is less than 0, it is 0. When y is between 0 and, right, 0 and 5, then we say it is the y square upon 50, and it is 2 by 5 y minus y square upon 50 minus 1 when y lie between the 5 to 10, and when y is greater than equal to 10, then it is equal to 1. So always you have to write in the correct form, means there must be the 0 and 1. Y must vary from minus infinity to infinity and is equal to on the left side, is equal to on the left inequality. That is very important here. Now you have to draw the graph. So you can see this is the graph of the parabola. So using the parabola, right, you can draw the graph, and here you can notice that CDF is non-decreasing function. Obtain the expression for 100p, means it is the percentile, means we can say FP is the percentile. So 100th percentile. So when the percentile is between 0 and 5, 0 and 0.5, so P is equal to CDF, right? P is equal to CDF, and for this range, our CDF is what? Y square upon 50. So that we can write as a YP square upon 50. So that will give you YP is equal to what? 50 into P, root of the 50 into P. When P is between 0.5 to 1, right, then we have to use the second CDF. So second CDF is what? 2 upon 5 y minus y square upon 50 plus minus 1. So it is equal to P. So P is equal to 2 upon 5 YP minus YP square upon 50 minus 1. So on solving, you will get the YP is equal to this. Means as you put the value of the P, you will get the point where left side is the that much percent of the total. Now, yes.
One question. Can you explain how we are writing P equal to F of YP?
Actually, what is the meaning of the percentile? Means let here we have the graph of the CDF. What is the meaning of the first? What is the total value of the CDF? Total value of the CDF is 1. Total value is 1, means area. This area is equal to what? It is a 1, right? So what we are doing? We are dividing. Let this side area is the 0.5. This side area is the 0.5. Let this side area is the 0.2, and on this side we have the 0.8, and so on. Means it is the 0.2, let it is the 0.3, let it is the 0.4, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and so on. So that is the percentile, means that much percent. So what is that? That is the CDF, 0.2, 20%, 20%. So this area must be the 20%. So it is what? F of 0.2. Clear? Percentile means 20%. Means percentile means you have assumed the total area is 100%, and how much area on the left side, that is the percentile, and left side area is nothing, that is the CDF up to that point. That's why we have written the P is equal to FP. Clear?
Okay, sir. Got it. Yes.
Now obtain the express that we have done. Compute EY and VY. How do these with the expected waiting time and variance for the single bus instead of the two buses? If we have the single bus, right, and time is uniformly distributed 0 to 5. There is a single bus, and waiting time for the single bus is uniformly distributed between 0 and 5. Then you have to compare the mean and variance for the current one with that. So EY is equal to 5 by the straightforward integration or by symmetry of the FY. So you can see means I think in previous class I have done this question. So you have seen that we have the graph for this question is like this. So by symmetry you can say that mean is the 5, right? Or simple integration you can do. So Ey is what? Ey is the integration y fy into dy. In previous question we have done in question number 8. Then variance of y will come. Variance of y means first we have to compute what? E of y square. E of y square, and from the E of y square we have to compute the variance of y. Variance of y is what? E of y square minus square of Ey. So both we have computed. So I'm not computing here. So here the variance will come 50 upon 12, that is the 4.1667. And they are saying that you have to compare with the another uniformly distributed waiting time. Means what is that? That is the a plus b by 2. And what is the Vx? That is the b minus a whole square by 2, where b is equal to 5, a is equal to 0. So a plus b by 2 will be the 2.5, and b minus a whole square by 2 will give by 12. Y12 will give you 5 minus 0 whole square 25 upon 12. So that is that you have to compare. Now next is very important distribution, normal distribution. So normal means most usable distribution, because any distribution, whether the discrete or continuous, if you are repeating any experiment large number of times, always tends to the normal distribution. So in all book of optimization statistics, you will find the table of the normal distribution only. So normal distribution is the very important distribution. So normal distribution, commonly named as a Gaussian distribution, also is most important one in all probability and statistics. Means whether you are studying the probability or you are doing any analysis through the statistic, everywhere you will find the utility of the normal distribution. Even we grade your your marks, right, through the normal distribution only. So many numerical population have distribution that can be fit very closely to approximate normal curve. Means even class marks also follow the normal distribution only. So here we have the reference when we have the first introduction of the normal distribution. So what is the normal distribution? So here a continuous random variable, means x is the continuous random variable, is said to have normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma, or in general we say sigma square, right? X follow the normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma when the PDF is given by, when the PDF fx for the parameter mu and sigma square, when the PDF is given by 1 upon root of 2 pi into sigma e to power minus x minus mu whole square upon 2 sigma square, right? And here x lie between minus infinity to infinity, and mu also lie between minus infinity to infinity, and sigma is greater than 0. Sigma is greater than 0. So here we have, if any random variable has following PDF, then we say that random variable is the normal variate, where mu is mean, and sigma square is the variance. Whatever the notation we have till now, the same thing, where mu is the mean of the normal variate and sigma square is the variance of the normal variate. And here the e and pi are the standard one. So for the different value of the mu and sigma, we have the following structure of the normal PDF. So here, very important thing you can notice, this is the axis, So normal curve is symmetric. Normal curve is symmetric about the x is equal to mu. This is only the distribution for which, just for the knowledge, you note down somewhere, this is only the distribution for which mean, median, mode all are equal. Right? Mean, median, mode all are equal. Yet I have not given you the idea about the mode. I think from the 12th you have the knowledge, but only the normal distribution, normal variate has this property that mean, median, mode are equal. So it is the symmetric, right? Its shape is like symmetric about. You can say symmetric about x is equal to mu. X is equal to mu. Another thing, it is the bell shape, right? You can say it is the bell shape, and it touch the x-axis at the infinity. It touch the x-axis at the infinity, right? Minus infinity to infinity. And here we have the point of inflection. So point of inflection lie at x is equal to mu plus minus sigma. So here the point of inflection lie at the, so on this side we have the mu minus sigma, and on this side we have the mu plus sigma. So point of inflection means it is a stationary point where we do not have the maxima or minima, but it is the stationary point. So a few things you can see, it is the symmetric about the mean. Point of inflection lie at the mu plus minus sigma. It is of bell shape. For the different value of the mu and sigma, this is the shape of the cumulative distribution function. You can notice here also we have the non-decreasing function. Now the statement that x is normally distributed with parameter mu and sigma square is often abbreviated as, generally we write it like this: x follow normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma square. So you can notice this function, because we have the exponential. So here I am saying that x is the normal distribution. So fx is this one. So when fx is this one, so you can easily, because of the exponent, 1 upon root 2 positive, root pi is positive, right? Sigma is always greater than 0, that we have assumed, and exponential function is always positive. So when they are positive, so you can say that fx is always non-negative, right, for all x. Now what is the second condition? For being a PDF, what is the second condition? So second condition is integral over the x. Integral over x must equal to 1, right? Integral over x must equal to 1. So here, so that we have to prove. So here we have the non-negative. So before proving that, I want to show you one important integration. That integration we will use time to time. So here we have the integration 0 to infinity e to power minus x square into dx. So this integration you have studied in the multiple integral in mathematics 1, right? This is a very famous integration. So 0 to infinity e to power minus x square dx. Let's say it is the I. So if you change the variable, so here 0 to infinity e to power minus y square, 0 to infinity e to power minus y square dy is also I. So if you multiply these two integral, so it will become I square, and let's say y is equal to 0 to infinity, x is equal to 0 to infinity e to power minus x square plus y square dx into dy. So when we say x from 0 to infinity, y from 0 to infinity, it means we are talking for the first quadrant. We are talking for the first quadrant. So if this is the small area, so here if you convert the Cartesian coordinate system to the polar coordinate system, what we have to put? X is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. So when we put this, means x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. So here we have the x square plus y square is equal to r square, and dx dy is equal to r dr d theta. That you know. So when we substitute this, so our integral will become I square is equal to integration for the r from 0 to infinity and angle from 0 to theta. So from figure you can see, if x and y is from 0 to infinity, it means r is also 0 to infinity, and angle will be only the 0 to pi by 2 if you want to cover the first quadrant. So r from 0 to infinity, theta from 0 to pi by 2, e to power minus r square, right, into r dr d theta. So when you separate the variable, so integral from r is equal to 0 to infinity e to power minus r square r dr, and integral theta is equal to 0 to pi by 2 d theta. So first when we solve this integral, so it will give you theta and limit 0 to pi by 2. So it will give you pi by 2 minus 0. So pi by 2 you can write outside this integration, and here it will be the r is equal to 0 to infinity e to power minus r square r dr. So if you assume, let r square is equal to t, so 2r dr is equal to dt. So when we substitute, it will give you pi by 2 t from 0 to infinity e to power minus t dt by 2. So it will be that 2 will come outside, it will become pi by 4, and integral of e to power minus t, and integral of the e to power minus t will be the e to power minus t upon minus 1. That limit we put 0 to infinity. So when we put the limit 0 to infinity, it will give you 1. So here I square is equal to pi by 4. It means I will become root pi by 2. Now if you have to determine the integration of e to power minus infinity to infinity e to power minus x square dx. So since this is what? Even function. This is the even function. So due to the even function, it can be written as 2 into integral 0 to infinity e to power minus x square dx. And what is this? This is just now whatever the integration we have determined. So it will become the 2 into I, and I is equal to what? Root pi by 2. So 2 and 2 cancel out. So we have the root pi, right? So now this it is very important integration. What? Minus infinity to infinity e to power minus x square dx is equal to root pi. So now you can use this integration directly, right? Now you can, because I have proved once, so wherever we require this integration, I can put directly my root of pi. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that fx is PDF or not. So first we have seen fx for all x greater than or equal to 0, since we have the exponential function. Now we will check the integration. So minus infinity to infinity fx dx. So it will be 1 upon root of 2 pi into sigma e to power integral minus infinity to infinity e to power minus x minus mu upon 2 sigma square into dx. So right, all these are in the power only. So here if you put let x minus mu upon 2 root of 2 into sigma is equal to z. So that can be written as x is equal to root 2 sigma z plus mu, and dx will be the root 2 sigma dz. So when we substitute x minus mu upon root 2 sigma is equal to z, our integral will become minus infinity to infinity fx dx is equal to 1 upon root of 2 pi sigma integral minus infinity to infinity. Now at this place it will be the z square. So e to power minus z square, and in place of the dx we will put root 2 sigma dz. So what is the benefit? Root 2 cancel with this root 2, sigma will cancel with this sigma. So our integral will become 1 upon root pi minus infinity to infinity e to power minus z square dz. And this integration already we have solved, and its value is what? Root of pi. So 1 upon root pi into into root pi, that will give you 1. Right? So now you can say fx is PDF. fx is PDF because it satisfies both necessary condition for being a PDF. Clear? Anything you want to understand here? Any integration, anything, any substitution?
So, sir, then question can come like directly, like show this as a PDF. This type of question can come. Then we need to show all of this.
Yes, you have to show.
Oh.
This integration you can use directly because that is the calculus part. So if you can remember, so you can put directly that integral value for this minus infinity to infinity e to power minus x square dx is equal to root of pi. That directly you can write. No need to prove that.
Okay.
It is very standard result actually. Now, so after this, after proving this fx after proving fx is the PDF, now we can show that expectation and variance for the normal variate are mu and sigma square. They are the parameter as well as the mean and variance for the normal variate, right? So how we can prove? So you know we have the two approach, either by definition or through the MGF. So let us have the expectation. Expectation means first we prove by definition, right? So what is the definition? Ex, it is the integral over x into fx into dx. So for the normal variate, x range is minus infinity to infinity, x into 1 upon root of 2 pi sigma e to power minus 1 by 2 x minus mu upon sigma whole square into dx. So here also we put let x minus mu upon root of 2 sigma is equal to z. So this substitution we will put here. So you know that here it will become x is equal to root 2 sigma dz plus mu, and dx is equal to root 2 sigma into dz. So when we put resubstitute, so our integral will become minus infinity to infinity. So in place of this x, we can put root 2 sigma z plus mu. So here we have written, right? Here we have written the root 2 sigma z plus mu into 1 upon root of 2 pi into sigma e to power minus z square, and in place of the dx it will become the root 2 sigma dz. So what is the benefit? This sigma will cancel out, this root 2 cancel out, and outside we have the 1 upon root pi, right? 1 upon root pi, and this integral from the first integral you can take this root of 2 sigma outside. So root of 2 sigma integral minus infinity to infinity z into e to power minus z square dz, plus second will be the mu integral minus infinity to infinity e to power minus z square dz. Now since z e to power minus z square is the odd function, z e to power minus z square is odd function, so the first integral will become the 0, and for the second integral you know that this integral is what? Root of pi. This integral is root of pi. So this will become mu into root of pi, and 1 upon root pi is outside this bracket. So here the ex will come the mu. Right? Here the ex will come mu. Then after, any doubt in this part? Anything you want to clarify? Any substitution? If it is not clear, please ask here only. Then after, we have to determine the variance. So variance, what is the basic formula of the variance? Variance is nothing. It is the expectation, right? Expectation of x minus mu whole square. Basic definition is this only. So by definition, it will become minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square into fx into dx. Now what is the fx for the normal variate? So just you put here minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square. Fx is what? 1 upon root of 2 pi sigma e to power minus x minus mu whole square upon 2 sigma square into dx. So here also we see the same substitution, x minus mu upon root 2 sigma is equal to z. So what you will get? X is equal to mu plus root 2 sigma z, and dx is equal to root 2 sigma dz. So when we substitute, so here x minus mu whole square, x minus mu whole square will become 2 sigma square z square. So that we have written. So here you can say this is the variance of x. So minus infinity to infinity. Now in place of the x minus mu whole square, we can write 2 sigma square z square, and fx is 1 upon root 2 pi sigma, and e to power it will become minus z square, and dx will be the root 2 sigma dz. Clear this part? So what is the benefit? Sigma cancel out, root 2 and root 2 cancel out, right? So here we have 2 sigma square upon root pi, you can take outside. Inside integral we have minus infinity to infinity z square e to power minus z square dz. Now it is the even function. So let you for the hint you write here, it is the even function. So when it is the even function, integral minus infinity to infinity can be written as 2 times of 0 to infinity. So 2 sigma square root of pi 2 into 0 to infinity z square e to power minus z square dz. And for this integral we know the value, it is the root pi by 4. Root pi by 4. So when we put root pi by 4, so here we have the sigma square. How we can write the root pi by 4? Right here we have the, you know that this is the rough work. So you know that integral of f g dash is equal to f into g minus integral of f dash g. So for our question, what we can assume, let f is equal to x and g dash is equal to x into e to power minus x square, so that f into g dash will become x square e to power minus x square. So from here f dash will come 1 and g will come e to power minus x square by 2. How you will get this thing? When we put x square e to power minus or x square is equal to t, so 2x dx is equal to dt, so it will come e to power minus t upon 2 dt. So integral will come minus e to power minus t upon 2. So that here I am writing. So g is equal to minus e to power minus x square by 2. So when we substitute, our integral will come minus x into means f into g. So x into minus of e to power minus x square by 2 minus minus f dash, that is the 1 into g, right, x into e to the power minus x square. So here it means integral 0 to infinity x square e to the power minus x square can be written as minus x e to the power minus x square by 2 limit 0 to infinity minus 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square by 2, it should be the minus, one more minus, upon 2 dx. So that will become 1 by 2, right, 1 by 2 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx. Means for the both limit, it is equal to 0. So this value is equal to 0. So here we have the 1 by 2 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx. And for this, just now we have proved it is 1 by 2 root pi by 2, root pi by 2. So it will become the root pi by 4, right, root pi by 4. So that we have substituted here, right, that we have substituted here, root pi by 4. So here you can see the variance is, right, variance is the, now you can say, right, variance of the normal distribution is the sigma square. So this we have proved for the normal variate. Then after, let x be normally distributed with parameter mu and sigma or sigma square. Then moment generating function for the x is given by e to power mu t plus sigma square t square by 2. And we know that from the MGF also we can derive expectation. Right, from the MGF also we can derive the expectation. So first we have to derive the how to derive the MGF. So MGF is nothing, that is also the one kind of the expectation. So MXT is the expectation of e to power tx, e to power tx. So what is the formula? Since x is the continuous random variable, it will be the integral over x e to power tx fx into dx. So for the normal variate, limit of the x is the minus infinity to infinity e to power tx 1 upon root of 2 pi sigma e to power minus x minus mu whole square upon 2 sigma square into dx. So we have the standard substitution. So here we have x minus mu upon root 2 sigma is equal to z. So that will give you x is equal to root 2 sigma z plus mu, and dx is equal to root 2 sigma dz. So when we substitute, so e to power tx, so in place of the x we have to substitute root 2 sigma z plus mu, right? This will become the z square and dx will become the root 2 sigma dz. So the same we have written here. So in this case, e to power tx means root 2 sigma z plus mu into t e to power minus z square, and in place of the dx root 2 sigma dz. And one more thing, 1 upon root 2 pi sigma. So what is the benefit? Root 2 and root 2 cancel out, sigma and sigma cancel out. So 1 upon root pi you can write outside the integral. So 1 upon root pi integral minus infinity to infinity e to power root 2 sigma z plus mu into t minus z square into dz. Right. So from here, if you take this, because this is the independent of z, this is independent of z, so you can take outside, so it will become e to power mu t upon root pi. Inside the integral we have integral from minus infinity to infinity, and inside the integral we have e to power minus z square minus root 2 sigma z t, right, z t into dz. So in this, if you do the plus minus of half sigma square dz, right? If you add plus of half sigma square t square and minus of half sigma square t square. So uh, first one will become the uh, perfect square. So this can be written as e to power, not it is e to power mu t upon root pi integral minus infinity to infinity e to power minus now z square minus root 2 sigma square sigma z t plus half plus or minus in the bracket it will be the plus, means here we are writing the plus half sigma square sigma square t square, and outside we have the plus half sigma square t square. So bracket will become the perfect square. Z minus root 2 upon 2 sigma t whole square plus half sigma square t square. So this e to power half sigma square t square you can take outside. So outside we have the e to power mu t plus half sigma square t square upon root pi, and inside we have integral minus infinity to infinity e to power minus u square du. If you take the substitution, u is equal to z minus root 2 upon 2 sigma t, then so and here we have the du is equal to dz. So what is the benefit? Because you know the standard integral, so this is the standard integral root of pi. So when we have the root of pi, so root and root pi cancel out. So here the mxt for the normal variate will be the e to power mu t plus half sigma square t square. So from here, if you compute the d by dt of mxt, so it will become e to power mu t plus half sigma square t square, and here we have the mu plus sigma square t, So when we put t is equal to 0, it will be the ex. So when we put t is equal to 0, so e to power 0 is 1, and sigma square into 0 is 0. So here we have only the mu. Similarly, when we compute the d2 upon dt2 of mxt, so from the first one we have the mu, right? E to power mu t plus half sigma square t square, right? And plus, or you can say instead of this you take the first function or second function, better that is. So let the second is as it is, derivative of the first one will become the sigma square, plus mu plus sigma square t, and derivative of the second one e to power mu t plus half sigma square t square into this only. So it will come the square mu plus sigma square t. So when we put t is equal to 0, right? T is equal to 0. So here we have the t is equal to 0, and it will give you e of x square. So this will give you mu square plus sigma square, right? From the first one we have the sigma square, from the second one we have the mu square. So mu square plus sigma square. And what is the variance of x? Computational formula, e of x square minus square of ex. square of Ex. So this will be the mu square plus sigma square minus square of mu. So it will be the sigma square. So in this way, through MGF, you can derive the mean and variance for the normal variate. So it's better time over. And actually, I am getting few reply for the tomorrow class. So is there any other time than this 4 to 5?
Can keep it on morning hours, so evening will be free.
Uh, keep on what time?
Morning hours, sir. Pre-morning instead of post.
At what time? You tell the time, I will shift. No problem.
9 to 10, 10 to 11.
Uh, So 10 to 11 is okay for all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will shift to 10 to 11.
And sir,
Yes.
can I know the reason for the extra class? Like, are we lagging behind with other sections?
We actually, up to the 26, we have to finish this, no? So we are lagging. Actually, in discrete, so many questions you have asked there. So we are not able to finish. So tomorrow is the last extra class. I do not want to stretch up to the last week.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other doubt?